So you guys were I'm hearing a lot of you guys wanted a theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that, and when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So, it's shorter. There you go. CrazyCatLady Gamer Reviewer or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair use, educational, for education and entertainment purpose. Okay, hi everybody, Martha here. Take two, because I recorded this, but it asked me and deleted it, so I have to do it again. Hopefully, okay, whatever. But here, I finished reading the Cliff Stitchwraith story. So I'm going to read the last page to you again, and I'll talk to you about it. Solly's being Solly. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to read this, two last paragraphs and the last page to you guys. And it worked. Jake's hand began to glow and red with the heel. As soon as the glow began to roll back, outward, Jake held his hand over the detective's wounds. The detective, barely aware of what was happening, but he cried out and tried to wince away from Jake's hand. Jake used his other hand to hold the detective in place. As soon as the detective was still, Jake lowered his glowing hand. The detective screamed in pain, but Jake, wincing, ignored the noise. He burned into the affection away, even if it hurt the detective. As soon as the heel met the detective's skin, greenness glows from looking revelation frost in between the spoiled cottage cheese and corrosion puddle bubbling up the surface. It immediately began to inciting, which created a nasty winch of puddle and crashing flesh. Jake would have went by, nose to his nose, and winced, but he stayed where he was and kept his hand in place until he last was in place while glow was gone. By then, the detective had passed out. Jake was happy about that. Jake looked around. What should I do now? The wince of the answer of the question. He had to leave. Help was coming. The help would not see Jake as a good guy. Jake straightened and ran towards the factory. He figured he could win his way through the interruption of escape out of the other side. As Jake ducked into the narrow hall and through, and his footsteps loud, he just had a horror realization. Jake forced himself to keep going through about the trash rabbit. The way had come apart. Jake owned his own spirit head, close enough to often man controlling the trash rabbit. The detective had called him Afton, and to know that awful man's spirit was powerful enough to pretend to be. Jake had felt Afton's spirit barely hanging on with reality. And how would Afton been able to battle the detective in the way he did? Jake had reached the far side of the factory, poked his head through the small door, and looked around. Twilight had given way to darkness. The moon was barely enough to light the area. in the night, creating enough shadow for Jake to stay out of sight. As he fled the factory, he faced this truth that he was just uncovered. Something beside Afton has been controlling that trash rabbit. And whenever it was worse. So, this is about, the story is about 20 pages, and I think it's like the longest one we had of the Stitchwraith story in this. So, let me go back to, like, for people who forgot, Afton just ate, Andrew, and he's moving to try to eat, Larson here, too. So, looks like Eleanor, the one from To Be Beautiful, the one who, like, turned Sarah into, like, a bunch of robot pieces, is here and was going after Jake, and like came out of Afton and went after him, and basically Afton's like calling himself "I am agony" to Larson, and Larson has to use like a forklift to fight, which does not work because he's able to like beat it. So he goes back to the car after he gets stabbed. That's why Jake here was trying to heal him, but apparently the agony went into Larson. Come here, Sully. And he finds the puppet's mask, and the puppet ends up like attacking, goes inside Afton, and they like battle inside each other, and like that makes Afton fall apart. And that's how Afton dies here for now. I don't know if he comes back or not, but and that's how this little short story ends, with Afton Larson probably gonna die, probably gonna bleed out before help comes. So yeah, but it looks. And I guess Jake is trying to stop him from turning into Afton by healing the agony part of him. So yeah, it was scary. What do you think, Sony? Creepy stuff. Woo! So yeah, I liked it. I'm sitting right now because like I said, before. One of my last videos, I'm still healing from getting the COVID shot. That helps, which you don't get COVID. So yeah, my arm's still hurting from it. So you're not helping right now, Sully, either. Taking your claws into it. So I'll see you guys later. Like, favorite, and subscribe, and bye bye.